Welcome to another episode of Trucker Talk. Have my boy George right here. How you doing today, my brother?
Man, I am absolutely good. It's not as cold as it was, so I'm all
I'm still cold as I done cranked the heat up, and I'm still cold. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
No, it's everybody. It's my house. We turn that fireplace on every 15, 20 minutes. Chilling here.
Man, yeah, and it was cold. Like I said, it got down to the teens, like 18. I was up in Kentucky, but it was still cold here in Tennessee. Working last week, it got cold, man. But hope everybody's having a good day. The safety tip of the day: when it's below 20 degrees, watch your air system. Drain your air tanks daily to prevent moisture and freeze. Frozen airlines equals no air brakes. Let the air pressure fully build before moving. Man, I tell you, when I was at Cisco, well, I experienced it at Cisco and Coca-Cola. Of course, at the end of the day, you got to do your post trip. They would tell you, they would let us know you need to drain your air tanks. And to make a long story short, some people that didn't do it, that mechanic had to come out there. He had to beat on that tank. But basically, you had to break the ice up. And see, like I said, I never done it, but I've seen other people do it. And you're talking about the start of your day. It's cold and you can't, the mechanic ain't, well, that's his job, but he ain't happy about it.
But and also unnecessary event that took place.
It could have been preventable.
Yes, yeah.
If the driver did their post trip.
Yeah.
Proper post trip.
It's a safety factor as well. So that's a big deal.
Yes, it is, because I know another thing when it's cold in them airlines, which I ain't gonna say the name of the company, but they had some cheap airlines. When you go to turning and stuff, man, them things are snap. And another thing, when the air pressure building up, you hit that gas, blow a little pinhole through one of them airlines. It's
under pressure.
It's crazy, but it's all in the quality of the airline too.
Totally makes sense.
But
be safe. That's what we're saying.
Yes,
especially
be safe.
When the temperature changes like this.
So, but man, I'm gonna step into it. Look, if the church is in a relationship series, you see these cards in the ring.
It was good, as always. He don't never disappoint.
Pastor he delivered this morning, and like I said, man, one of the things that stuck out to me, and I'm gonna tell a quick little story. He was just basically giving an analogy. He was saying, talking about this girl. He was head over heels for this guy. He was church.
Yeah.
He looked good. He was, body good. Had, I think, a good job and all that. And, she was, well, let me go back. She was sleeping around and doing all this other stuff.
She was out there.
And so, but she felt like he was the guy for her. But the way the pastor put it, he was just saying, basically, the girl's mom was like, because she thought, she was like, oh, well, this is the right guy for me. He's everything, blah, blah, blah.
The one.
But the mama said, well, you may not be the right girl for him. And so when he said that, I was like, dang, like I didn't see it. I didn't see him coming with that, but it was pretty good. But yeah, so as far as I know, other people that are in relationships, it's learning. I can learn from my pastor because he's breaking down and he's coming from a biblical point of view too.
Yes.
And so, but me being out in the dating game, I've had some situations where I run into people, and sometimes we get caught up in the looks, and looks ain't everything. So now that I'm getting these different pointers or point of view from my pastor, now I'm kind of looking, and like George, he always beat me up because I always have the same problem. He's like, you fishing in the same sea, you keep fishing, you gotta start fishing somewhere else.
That same pond that everybody's throwing those fish right back in.
I keep throwing it right back into the same pond.
Catching the one that somebody else threw in. So anyway.
Your famous word, you said everybody can't be wrong. I don't know. But I'm not trying to down anybody, but that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Heart and Soul. Next Sunday, it's a 5-week series. If you want to come check it out,
yes,
come check it out.
Or you can actually stream it as well.
Yeah, you can stream.
Yes.
Well, it's I can just share it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Or I can share the link.
Yeah, I'll share in a heartbeat. That's how I don't give out. Like Matthew carries the passes, I carries the what's it, the shares. I share it.
Well, you send the message out, like I
Yeah.
said. As long as you get it out there, hey, that's the important thing.
Because you might not can make it that day, or you might miss
Right.
one. Like, well, let me send this. This is good.
Send the link.
You can send
always
this
go
while
back and watch it.
while you getting your oil change. Turn it on.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again this week because it hit me. It hit me the wrong way.
I always watch it when I'm at work.
It hit me the wrong way. But today we're gonna talk about silent battles, men's mental health in our 40s, and we're strong, but we're not invincible. Say it again. We're strong, but we're not invincible. So nobody prepares men for the mental weight that hits in your 40s. And you survive, and the reason I got talking about this, I was in my head, man. So you survive your 20s, built in your 30s, or you survive your 20s, you built in your 30s, and now the bill comes due mentally. So this episode is for the men who keep showing up, but feel empty inside. And I've been there, I have my days, I have my weeks. So why the 40s hit different? The pressure of being a provider. And that was tough for me because like, and the thing about it, even with this new job, working, I mean, I'm not under any pressure, but at the end of the day, you have, I always say I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, and I'm a son and a friend.
Yep.
So kind of sort of under pressure when it comes to certain, depending on the title.
Right.
And you have to kind of lead by example, but people are dependent on you.
Yeah.
And so Asian body, slower recovery.
I can speak from experience, folks. It does. It almost seems like you don't even recover.
Well, I tell you, just like with the job, like when I was in my 20s, at Coke, I can say this now, I would jump off the lift. I remember I would jump on the ground. Now, hey, I watch that thing go all the way down to the ground because my knee, like if I jump off the ground, I may not be get back up. So I ain't doing that. So career plateau or burnout.
Yeah.
I've experienced that between Coke, when I was trying to decide about Coke and Cisco, and then the other trucking job. But even then, people still deal with that. So you got divorce, co-parenting, or loneliness.
Yeah.
And I haven't experienced divorce, but I experienced the co-parenting. Loneliness can hit me, I guess, when it gets colder, because as long as you're staying busy and stuff like that, you can kind of sort of get past that. But when it's cold, you got to kind of be more creative in the things that you can get into to kind of break up that. Because don't get me wrong, when it's cold, when it's cold, I really don't want to go nowhere. I don't know how you feel about that, but
you know what I do? I get my bag of skinny popcorn. And I'm good. I'm watching TV. I ain't going, and I don't plan on going nowhere.
Right. So then you got the feeling unseen, but still needed. So then reality hit. You got friends disappearing. See, they wasn't your friends in the first place. You thought they was your friends, but
associates.
So when hard times hit, and when deaths start happening, you find out. Over at 40, I found out who my real friends was, man, and it hurt because what I thought in my 20s and 30s. I had a bunch of party buddies, man. As you get older, true friends, they will stick around. So
I'm gonna piggyback on that too. That has a lot of truth to it, but I think too, talk about this on the mental health side of it. Sometimes a lot of men don't know how to be a friend in time of need.
They don't know how to,
right? Because they've never been. Some of them probably never been taught how to be a friend or a listener, a person somebody confide into. So that's why I say, a lot of times we haven't been prepared. There's no book on how to be a man.
No, there's not.
You learn by experiences. You learn by watching other men And there again, we pick up sometimes good habits, and we can also pick up bad habits because we see. I was with my son. We was eating dinner last night, and talking about my grandson Brighton. Um, he was doing something, and then I said, this is the age, and that's where he's learning how to do things. He's learning. He's watching you do what you do. He's mimicking even what his mom does. He mimic all those things.
Right.
So in his brain, he's processing. This is his starting point to the rest of his life right now, where he's learning.
Right.
Even hatred. All this stuff is taught at that young age.
Right.
He's not born. Nobody's born hating each other.
Correct.
These are all emotions that people have and develop over a period of time. So I told him, so yeah, this is a good time to teach him these things. Because right now he says his alphabets now. He doesn't know what they look like now, but I'll say he says them, he sings them.
Okay. Okay.
So he sings his alphabet. They got him saying his
Nice.
prayers every night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And not just saying his prayers, but he's naming all the relatives in the prayer.
Oh,
So they
That is
they say they do that at night now. So I said, this is the
wow.
time now you can teach him and stimulate his brain to those positive
Wow.
interactions.
I
Instead
like that.
instead of they limit his screen time.
That's good too.
And there was another thing that we're going to be off the subject for just a little bit, but it's amazing what they was talking about. They was looking at different shows, and I got to ask Nathaniel, what's the name of the process? They were looking at different shows, and they don't let him view high stimulating cartoons because they say they did a study. Ones that have a lot of color, there's a lot of moving in it, there's everything's going on within like a certain couple of seconds.
Mhm.
It's high stimulating, and they notice him. He's stimulated by watching these things, but they let him watch a more of a slumber movie or something like that.
Right.
The activity level decreases. Not as
Oh.
hyper. But I got to ask him about that because it was really when he was talking, I'm thinking that is pretty wild because all the vibrant colors on cartoons, all these things that stimulate a child,
Wow.
especially at that age. So I was like, I never thought about that. But you look at all the cartoons, they are vibrant colors.
Wow.
So anyway, we kind of get back on track,
See
but
that-
we brought about that back up about
Well-
learning process.
That goes with the whole, just like it's 2026 coming up, or you was coming up.
Oh God, we see it.
They didn't have studies on that.
No,
Now, so
no,
Nathaniel and Haley, they've been doing their homework.
Yeah.
So that's good that they're on top of it now versus
Trying to wait and
years
see
later
what
trying
happened,
to
figure
trying
out
to figure
what
out why
happened.
he's
Yeah.
like this.
But they also the group of people that they're with also. So it's that umbrella of people that we're going back to friends.
Right, right. That's and
Going
they
back
all
to
got
friends.
kids.
Yeah. But it was very
They all
interesting.
got
It was very
kids.
interesting when he broke it down like that. And I was like, I didn't plan on having this conversation tonight, but it's good because now I know I just learned something else I did not know.
Something else, yes.
Yeah. But we talk about friends and how, as men, we are taught to be hard. Don't cry. Be a man. Do some push-ups. And you got a friend that's needing that, not necessarily that softer side, but you got to have a heart to understand and listen as well. And I do that all the time. I love listening to people. And I cry
me too.
with
Me
people
too.
Well, I'll tell you a story about my friend, the one that had the accident. It still hurts me not to think about it.
Man.
And I cried, and it just all of a sudden, the emotion just kicks in. It does.
Well, because just like you working out, going to the gym,
Yeah.
you can go back to them videos, but
Oh, dude,
from
I do
that
it
to
all
the
the
way
time.
he is now,
Yeah, it's totally different.
like, wow, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just but it's an eye opener, with life. Time, I say time is valuable, but
Yeah.
your life can change. The next day your whole life can change.
Exactly.
So
Exactly
ain't nothing promised tomorrow.
Oh no, absolutely.
People, not saying him, but some people take things for granted.
And
So
yeah.
I was gonna go that. So realizing time is no longer unlimited. So that's one of the things when it comes to with me in my 40s, when I'm driving at night, all I do is I think and I get in my head and I'm just like, I'm thinking about my son, I'm thinking about my mom, nieces and nephew, my friends, and I'm just like, because I'm working, but I'm working odd hours, but I'm thinking, what can I do? And this is the way I'm thinking now is what can I do to add value to their life
Right.
versus, don't get me wrong, I'm setting myself up for the future, but I still keep them as
Right.
a priority, and I think about that. So it's like in your 40s, people stop asking you, how are you doing? But they assume that you're good.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
So-
they look at the outside of the shell.
Yeah, and like I said,
Yeah.
And there again, people they have behaviors, and some people they'll travel. People cover up, and that's another thing that I'm learning with just friends and other people that's outside of the circle. That people just they can cover up things, and you can only do that for so long, man. But now, what I enjoy, just like you said, I enjoy and then I know it sounds crazy, but I value conversation over anything else now. So if I can get on the phone, with certain individuals, I talk to you all the time, but
all day long, every day.
if I can get on the phone and just like with other people that I reach out to, I try to be that person that's out that reach out because it ain't hurting me to, hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Right.
Or I'm sending positive energy, or I'm sending positive energy your way, or
Yeah.
I hope you have a good week. So that's free.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's free,
encouraging.
Free giving, but it probably means the world to somebody who's receiving that.
Correct.
Because it's so unusual and so inconsistent that they get that kind of attention. It's like, well, I didn't think matter was thinking about me,
And that's the thing about
that
it.
goes into the mental health part of it. It's like you feel like you're alone. It's like because nobody ever reaches out. People have intentions on reaching out, but they again, we have intentions, but we don't follow through.
They have intentions, and and there again, some friends, and I try not. I'm not going to try to be. Well, I'm not like this, but I can have people that don't reach out to me. But then, and like I was telling you yesterday, one of the things that I practice with, people that I've had good and bad situations with, even though I feel that in my soul and my heart tells me to just, I start feeling something negative, I just send something positive out.
Positive, good.
That way, you'll always replace that negative with positive.
Yes, because that negative can become consistently.
Yeah. And it'll take that negative vibe that you got away. So that's the thing that I've been practicing. I like that. But men don't talk, they withdraw.
Yep.
So emotional shutdown versus emotional healing. Why men isolate instead of vent? For example, they be like, I'm fine. It's the I'm fine culture. And
I'm good.
That's how I've always been. And you have some friends, you be like, how you doing? Good morning. I'm good. How's your week? I'm good. And it's everything is I'm good, but you got to start switching up the questions and how you ask it.
Yes.
And I guarantee you will get a different. I mean, think about it. If you
instead
of saying how are you doing, you can say how are you feeling, or
what do you got going on right now?
There you go. And then that
it's not a closing question, it's an opening question.
That will put you in a position where they not saying they have to, but they're gonna have to give you kind of an answer.
Yeah.
They can't say I'm good. You're like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I like that though. So our silence turns into anger, numbness, or exhaustion. And I've seen that with friends from the past, dealing with things. And here's another thing. It's not really happening to me, but your work becomes a hiding place. You think about it, you keep yourself busy.
Yes.
They'd be like, what they say? Give me all the love. I'll take this. I'll take it.
Yeah.
You don't want to go home.
Yep.
I know some people that I work with now, like I can say no names, but they don't want to go home. They don't want to go home. And for the life of me, like, I'm blessed to have my beautiful house and everything. I'm paying for this place. So as far as working, I work to, make to be financially stable, but I also enjoy my home time. So I don't live to work. I don't work to live. I don't work to live, but I want to live my life. So I get my job done. I come home. I enjoy my home. I enjoy my peace.
I mean, not on that, you sent me the where's on your Facebook nephew.
Yes.
This is like a vacation when they come over here.
Yes. Well, it's beautiful. And there again, I've always loved kids, and just like being a father, I've taught my son a lot of different things. And just like, when I get them, it's like they are just like when I go to my mom's, I'm doing different things. They want to help. Like, and when they see me pull up in that truck, if it's summertime or whatever, they think we're working. So I can pull up and they be like, hey, we're gonna work today. And I'm like, no, we ain't working today. But they enjoy those things. And so when it comes to the brakes and the blower, they want to blow.
And it's education, and we've talked about this all the time. And I said, and you'll send a picture, and I got a bad habit of I analyze stuff almost too much sometimes. I was training this friend of mine yesterday and doing something. I was looking at her doing some leg press, and being a personal trainer, I just look at body anatomy and body mechanics.
Right.
and I saw her heel come off the floor, off the bed just a little bit. It wasn't a big deal, but it just stuff that I automatically picked up.
Right.
And so we talked about it for a long time. And I said, that's just, and she knows I am. I
Right.
said, just a bad habit because I'll watch people, bottom mechanics, as they work out because I was trained for so long, I kind of got a knack for it. But as with when you send on your Facebook, I'll
Yes.
screenshot like that. I think it was the last one. Marcel was raking,
Yes.
and I put up a picture of his face.
Facial
I said,
expression.
he was looking for that approval.
Yes.
His face is, I saw it. It's like, am I doing good? And
Yes.
to them, you are the provider.
Correct.
You are the provider for their learning, their fun time. When they come over here,
Yes.
it's like, oh my goodness. I saw you when I saw them last night. I said, you done pulled the truck out of the garage and they just riding the scooters in the garage in a circle. Wasn't going nowhere, but
That's all they was.
this is what they wanted when they come over here. It's,
Yep.
it's a time to learn, and there can be a little bit more adventures that here, and it's a different environment as well.
Different
And you
environment.
treat them like they need to be treated.
Yeah.
Kids, so you give them, they're happy when they come over here. You can tell they can't wait. What you said, they had the coats on, they didn't want to take the coats off.
Well, last Sunday when I took a nap, my mom had called me. And my mama said that they had their bags packed, and they thought that I was coming to get them, but
Oh,
I didn't.
man, that hurts.
I haven't even. I talked to her, or I make it a point to talk to her every day. But
Yeah.
when I sometimes, and here's the thing about it, when I do talk to her, if she lets them know, not that they get their feelings hurt, but they got to talk to me. If my mom talks
Yeah.
to them without me,
Yeah.
and she got called back, or if I'm on the phone with my mom, and if my mom makes the point not to get off the phone without them telling me bye, because then she got to turn around and call me
Call
back,
me
and they
back.
got to tell me bye.
Yeah, and but they
So,
they
but they're-
become comfortable
Yes.
with you, and because that's a good thing of love, and it's also a man being able to share love with smaller kids too, because it's and even for myself, it teaches him at that age now. He's learning.
Yes.
So as a role model, that's what you are. You're a provider and a role model.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what my goal. Like I said, my goal is to teach them. Like,
Yeah.
And then I was aggravating my niece because I told her, I said, if I hear a boom, and it's on my Facebook. I said, if I hear a boom, y'all get the whooping. And it's not. I'm not gonna whoop them, but. And then, so she said, so if we hit something, we're gonna get a whooping. I said, yep. Guess what? They didn't hit nothing, but it ain't a threat. But it's just me telling them.
And also teaches
And-
discipline as well.
But it's discipline, and it's just, and I'm firm with what I say to them. But I love them. I've never whooped them. And they've been coming over here for years. So, but if she thinks in the back of her mind, oh, I'm gonna get a whooping, and she ain't gonna do it. So, and my mama, she'll whoop them, and she's
That's
around them
funny.
all day long.
Right,
so,
right.
and they acted up and doing crazy stuff. So, yeah, they need whoopings. Kids, well, that's a whole nother podcast.
A long one.
So-
That's a 5-week series.
So yeah, with that, and just back to the truck drive, like with the long hours in my night shifts, I take a lot of time reflecting, and I think about areas that I need to work on in my life, and and just fatherhood. I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
fatherhood.
Yeah.
As far as fatherhood and reflection, wanting to be. Here's the thing that people need to stop doing, and I'm gonna say it for the record: wanting to do better than your parents. We talked about this.
All the time.
Last year,
Yeah, we do it.
you
We
can't-
do it.
You can't really compare how you doing to your parents because food, the cost of living, all that was different,
Socioeconomics is totally different.
totally different,
And the world is different.
way different.
The world is totally different. Totally different. You
Because-
wouldn't think about it, but I say it loosely, but the world is different right now. I mean, so you can't even compare. That's like
Can't.
a lot of people out here, because I follow bodybuilding quite a bit, and they say, well, which this era of bodybuilding, was it the 90s or was it the 80s or whatever, or 70s? Well, the 2000 this year, in this year. So, but you can't compare because you had different things at different times.
Yes,
You can only compare that time with that time. That's all you can do.
correct.
Because now cars are faster than they were back then as well. I had a 66 Chevrolet with a 283 engine. Burning a tank of gas just going to the mailbox and back, no gas mileage. But it wasn't fast, but it got you there.
Got you.
Now
there.
cars are faster, more fuel efficient. So you can't really compare, try to be better than your parents. You can only provide what you can provide now
Correct.
with what you have at this point.
Correct. I like it, man. And another thing that I struggle with was guilt over time. Like I think about when even I was a caregiver, and when Malachi was just working and in the sports and all that, and don't get me wrong, when I was getting them every other weekend, it was like like that's my time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when you look at that, and then as you're fast forward now, so one of the things that I presented to him last year, I said, look, or not look, I said, what I would like to do is invite you and your girlfriend over, and I would like to cook dinner for y'all once a month. Because like I said, he's busy
Yeah.
in his career, she's busy with her job
Mhm.
and stuff. And that's the least, not saying that's the least I can do, but that can open that door to create something differently.
Yep.
So we can have that quality time. Just, and I know once a month, I can look forward to that
Yeah.
versus it's hit or miss, and we always, busy, but you got to make
Big
time,
time.
and you got to, and there again, somebody has to make that step. You can't, as a father, you can say, well, my kid's supposed to do, I'm not
Mhm.
saying my dad or anybody does, but some parents say, well, the kid need to reach out to me. It's not necessarily the kid, it's the parent can make that first step. I'm just saying.
You know, I'm bad. Well, I ain't gonna say bad
You,
about it, but I'm
you
pretty
always
much.
tell me
I
stuff.
harp on that all the time. Said you don't let them. You don't let them. You do. 'Cause
You
it's-
always told me that.
Yeah.
You've always told me that because we've had many
Yeah.
conversations.
About
And I'd be
this.
like, you'd be like, I ain't gonna say what you be like, do this, do that, do this. And I'm like, but you like do this.
But, yeah.
Just do it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I've done it and it's worked.
Work. Yeah. Because there again, there's no book on fatherhood,
There's not, no.
and you kind of do what we've been trained or taught or saw done, and we kind of take that as the instructional manual to life. No, you there again, we go back to friends and all that. That's why we talk all the time. We bounce stuff off each other all the time. We don't do all. Well, I would say we don't always disagree. We don't always 100% agree, but most of the time it's like within the realm where we kind of like this makes sense either way. So we don't,
Right.
and we don't keep score of who's right or who's wrong. But most of the time I'm right, regardless. But
Well, hey,
but
you got more
again,
experience than me. So I can't,
That's been my teacher
I
for
can't,
years.
I can't.
I've
trust
messed up way more times than you have. I can guarantee you that I've messed up way more times. So I do have the experience from that. But anyway,
Right.
yeah, we learn from each other. So that's why we talk about men reaching out to other men. You know, we got a
Right.
couple of close friends that we all talk to all the time,
Yes.
and you learn from that. We just had a situation back here last week, so and it turns out to be a good thing as of now.
Yes.
So it's everything's good. So it's see them at church. Last
It's
Sundays.
beautiful
It's
watching
been
it.
nice. It's nice that what we've done, but we've
Yes.
opened up. Not as a man. Oh man, don't you should be a man. You should do this. You should do that.
Can't do that,
You could
man.
be a man, but you can also be a man with a heart.
Yes. Some men have heart and some men are,
That's hard.
They're hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
So,
but they've probably been taught that. Just do
yeah,
some.
but
Well, Dan, I'm feeling pretty bad. Do some push-ups. Come on, dude.
you gotta unlearn. They're again unlearn some of them behaviors, and that's what I've been doing
Yes.
is unlearning, being vulnerable,
Mhm.
and just being open to trying different things. If you don't, you have people that one spouse and talk about last one spouse can rub off onto the other spouse, and it'll be that behavior, and then they teach everybody else that behavior,
Hey,
and that's not good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so the pride of watching your child grow, that is in itself is a beautiful thing because there again, like I said, I struggle with things when Malachi was younger, and
Mhm.
then just watching him grow and make his mistakes and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I get my feelings hurt. I can be like, I don't want to say I told you so, but sometimes depending on what it is, I will say I tried to tell you that, but he still got to learn.
Gotta
So,
learn. Yes.
and so, but the fear of failing them emotionally, that was one thing that I struggled with. And I talked about that in the early 2020 when I was going through like a rough time and I went through this bad depression. And I don't know if I ever told this story, but I don't know. I don't know if I told you, but I checked into this place.
Yes. We've talked about
And
this. We've talked about it.
I went to that place, and on another episode, I'll give more details, but I ain't gonna say I shouldn't have been there, but it was an eye opener. So, but I'll talk about that on another episode. It humbled me real fast. So, learning to soften without losing strength, and this person, one thing I had to unlearn in my 40s was, and that's being being that hard parent because my father taught me that was the way my father did things. And
he was probably taught that.
He was
You
taught
see what I'm
that,
saying? The
but-
domino effect of those habits or those teachings. You say.
it was rough. And my father was hard. Like it was
Yeah.
like, pray about it. don't be, I'm not gonna repeat everything he said,
Yeah.
but he was different, and I was just like, dang.
Yeah.
And so I'm over like I want to cry, and it's like, nah.
Right. So I'm
you
saying,
ain't gonna
but
be no,
that was a response of the response,
it's like you ain't
And
gonna do that.
and we've talked
So,
about this, but I tell you now, I mean, I was in the hospital and I was crying at the hospital. Son that called, he was out of town
yes,
and he called me. He said, "Should I come?" And I said, I pretty much told him, "Said yes." I said, "I'm scared.
correct.
I'm crying on the phone right now." But he
That's
was there by morning. He was there.
Friday morning, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good that you was. You like, nah, I'm good.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
So, and just like, my other buddy, which he ain't gonna watch the podcast, I told you about him. He was in the hospital,
Yeah.
and I call him, he got emotional.
Yeah.
Like, I've known this bro, or I say, bro, I've known this guy for most of my life. And he's hard, he's not saying he's from the streets, but we grew up in the same hood. But when I'm on the phone with him and he's breaking down, he's like, I appreciate it. Because when he said that, I was thinking he probably thought nobody cared. But I know his family and them, they came. But
Yeah.
as friends,
Right.
I was one of those friends that reached out. I went up there, visit him. I told him, I said, look, man, I said, you need to do what the doctors ask you to do. He's like, my heart's messed up. I don't know what's going on. But he's like, man, it's scary.
Yeah.
I said, well, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I care about you. And I said, I was worried. And I told him, I said, I was worried. And I'm not trying to be my dad always say a punk, but I wasn't trying to be soft about it. But I said, I care about you. I said, I was worried about you. I said, I knew when I wish you a happy new year and, or was it I think it was Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. And I said, I didn't hear nothing back. And I said, Happy New Year. And I said, man, something ain't right. I said, because I know you always going.
You called me and told me.
And I was worried. And then when he texted me, and I called him, he's like, man, I'm in the hospital. I was like, I knew it. And I was not fussing at him, but I was high strung at that point because I was like, man, I said, I knew something was wrong. Never responded. And I kind of freaked out about it, But I'm glad that I reached, there again, I was reaching out to him. So, and I found that out. But yeah, so now I'm going to go over to relationships. Relationships, dating, and emotional fatigue. So why dating feels hard, or why dating feels harder now? I mean, you got social media, you have expectations. Well, social media, expectations. What do you say? Unrealistic
expectations. I was going to say unrealistic goals. I normally say, but unrealistic, not so much unrealistic goals. I think it's unrealistic expectations from the other. But what did Pastor Austin say today? What you're looking for, are you that person?
Say it slow. Say it again.
What you're looking for is what are you that person that person looking for?
Yes. That's what he said.
It totally makes sense.
Because you can't be, you hear and then they there and you're like, well, no, they got to have X, Y, Z. You checking off your list.
You
ain't even make
your list is like
you ain't even making it. It's like, come on, you can't do that.
That was good.
Man.
That was a good series. That was good. I would definitely watch.
I'm gonna watch it again this week because I got nothing but time. I got plenty of time. So, but people have trust issues from past relationships and trauma. So feeling valued over money, or feeling valued only for money or stability. And that's what some men deal with, and so wanting peace more than passion. Some men choose solitude, chaos, but it says men don't fear commitment. We fear losing ourselves again. Say it again. Ooh. So men don't fear commitment. We fear losing ourselves again. So what people don't talk about is healing. So healing isn't weakness. So therapy, it isn't failure. You got brotherhood over isolation. You prayer, your faith, and your grounding, because you got to have something that keeps you grounded. And I'm not talking about a person. Oh. But some people, they run to people, but at the end of the day, that person, if you give somebody control over you, or you depend on that person, because I know people, or I heard people say, well, this person, they keep me balanced, or they keep me. I mean, my whole life, I've never. It's like, well, I guess because I never had that, so I've never looked for that. But I've had relationships or situationships, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, I would be emotionally available. You know, there was emotionally available, but at a point, you don't really can't give that person that much control over you.
Oh, so like I've asked you this before. So what happens when that is no longer?
That's what I'm saying. And they lose their crap. You know.
Yeah.
That's when they say, "Oh, you know, I don't feel good enough." But you know, the boundaries equal self-respect. So you got to say no without guilt. So healing in your 40s isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about finally listening. So I got some reflection questions, you know, for the listeners, and you can comment below. When was the last time you checked in on yourself? What are you carrying that nobody knows? Who do you feel safe being honest with? And then the last question is, what would peace actually look like for you? So I like that, man.
That's
but
good. Super good.
Closing message says, men in their 40s aren't broken. We're becoming requires honesty. So men in their 40s aren't broken. We're becoming requires honesty. So I woke up, you know, you hit me up this morning. You was like, hey, you know, what topic, what you had in mind? So me, what I normally do, I'll, you know, get my coffee in, I'll do my devotion, then I'll pray. And whatever hits my spirit, but that kind of what hit me, it was just hit my spirit because, like I said, I have my days working at nights and going into this year, still processing things and just trying to be a better version of myself and work on a lot of my, you know, some of my weaknesses because I have my strong point, or I have my strong points and I got my I got my strengths and I got my, you know, weaknesses.
Right.
So my goal this year is to, if I can work on my weaknesses without getting into a bad relationship or getting in a bad, or put myself in a bad position to where I'm trying to, what's the word? Fill that void.
Yeah.
I think overall I will be better off as a
Right.
as a father, friend, brother, you know, son and uncle. So that's the way I feel about it. That's how I'm going into 2020.
Perfect.
You got anything else you want to?
My
brother.
You know, we're talking about, we go back and forth a lot of time on different topics, but we still, the one that like I mentioned to you earlier, we're going back to the, what was the last week?
Is your with your partner, is your habits transferable to your partner?
Yeah, because I kind of questioned somebody else and I about that I thought about it even more. So, you know, think about it. Sometimes we mad at something or somebody, say a family member, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, okay, and I asked him, I said, why are you mad? He said, well, I don't know. They're mad at him, so I'm mad at them.
Can't do that.
So that's kind of this is kind of wild because you think about it, and it happens so often you don't really think about it. It's like, why are you mad at them? Well, I don't know, but they mad at them, so I need to be mad at them too. But why?
Right.
So you need to break that boundary and say, you know, just have a conversation. Well, I don't analyze the situation,
correct,
and then determine am I mad at them because they're mad, or am I mad at them because of something that they did? And the reality is, most time it's something that following suit. So
correct.
Be careful what you're. That's a strong opinion of mine. Just be careful of what you following suit on.
Correct. It's a learned behavior, and it can turn into something bad because
you'll become that person. You'll be before you know it, y'all are one. You mad at everybody, and you don't even know why you're mad.
Well, you're mad at everybody because of your spouse, or your husband.
Yeah. It's like, well, they mad.
It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Now, if they done don't get me wrong. Now, if they done something to both of them, that's a whole other story.
But when you don't know why you mad,
right?
Or mad, you say, "Well, I'm mad because she said we're supposed to be mad at them." I said, "Oh, that's why you mad."
That, man. I would never do that. So, regardless of who I get with, I'm
but it's just food for thought. It's stuff like that I think about a lot of weekends, like because you just see it all the time. Like, well, why are you upset with these people? I don't know. She's mad, so I'm mad. She said we're supposed to be mad at them. We ain't talking to them. I'm like, but why? Why are you mad at them though? I don't know. She told me to be.
They just follow suit, man.
Anyway, we appreciate
agree
y'all.
with it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I know.
y'all.
That's
And,
good.
if you got any suggestions, anything, drop. As my nephew say, I already know. I don't know where he got that from. He said, comment below. I'm thinking. I said, do you watch YouTube? He's like, yeah. And I'm like,
See?
okay.
That-
But he said he already. And I didn't tell him to
At
say
that
that.
early age,
I didn't tell him to say that.
He's already learning.
He's learning. Yeah, he got
learning
her.
from YouTube. So
He's like, comment below. And I'm like, what? I said, what'd you say? That's why I was laughing. I said, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that, but
yeah,
he's
that's
learning.
funny. Yeah.
But yeah, so y'all have a good evening. As always, we'll talk to you all soon. And appreciate you,
All
George.
right, y'all. Appreciate you too, bro.
Y'all have a good evening.
It's the drip from Mistroza.